Get clear on your why. Why do you think you need to do something different? Why are you feeling frustrated or unfulfilled? So if you're in a situation that you feel like you are just pouring out, whether it's you're pouring out in a job, you're pouring out in a relationship, you're pouring out to an organization, you're pouring out to your family, but it's draining you. It's not lighting you up. It's not exciting you. It's sucking the life out of you. Then you need to figure out what you need to do next. So don't wait until discomfort escalates into something more. We can do more. We can have more. We can have a greater impact. So do not be ashamed of wanting more. That's a beautiful thing. The question that I get asked most often when people come to work with me is, Roz, how do I know when to let go? And so today I'm going to answer that question. So if you're in a place or a space right now that you're like, is it time? I'm not sure. This episode is for you. Welcome to Conversations with Roz Clark, where we share stories of rebirth and resilience to show you how to get from where you are to where you're longing to be. Hey, I'm Roz Clark, the Dream Doula, and I've helped hundreds of executives, performers, and entrepreneurs to release what no longer serves them, reconnect with their purpose and their passion, and create the blueprint to build the life of their dreams. So if you know that you're meant for more, that you want more, but you're just not sure how to get there, I'm going to come out the gate with a special gift for you. I have a 12-step transformation journey workbook that'll help you figure that out. You don't need more information. You don't need more affirmations. You need a blueprint that not only tells you what you need to do, but shows you how to do it. So this workbook is exactly that, and it is my gift to you. So comment workbook below and I'll send it to you. Okay, let's get started. How do you know when it's time to let go? And this is the thing, the hardest part of transition is releasing what no longer serves you, be that roles, relationships, or even old stories. So I'm going to share what to look for when you're ready to stop carrying what's too heavy and actually what's no longer yours to carry. So let's start with this. The body keeps the score. Did you hear me? The body keeps the score. One of the first places to check in is internally and physically. Because I say all the time, if it doesn't come out of your mouth, it will show up in your body. So your body will start giving you hints, whether, you're tired all the time, you're cranky, or you just don't quite feel right. So what I want to encourage you to do is do an inventory. Do an inventory of your body. Am I getting more headaches? Do I look tired? Do I feel lethargic? Like, check in with your body, because it's the only body we get. And I promise you that if we don't take care of it, it will let us know about it. And so sometimes you're like, well, I work out all the time. And I remember when I was in this incredibly stressful situation. I was in a 50 Shades of Crazy marriage, fires coming up all the time that had to be put out. And I thought I was okay because I meditated, I did yoga, I worked out. And yet my body manifested an autoimmune disease. So I thought I was okay, and yet I wasn't. So start checking in. What does your sleep look like? What does your sleep cycle look like? And do you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go? Or do you wake up feeling lethargic, or you have a sense of dread, or is your first thing in the morning, yay, here comes another day, and I really am that person. I'm so grateful for what I get to do each and every day. And yet that wasn't always the case. I would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning, working on shit, trying to get it right and, get a few hours of sleep and wake up the next morning like, oh my God, again, what fire am I going to put out? So check on that. Do an energy check. Like, tune in. Are you, like I said, are you irritable? Are you frustrated easily? Do you feel like crying? Are you angry? Are you feeling a sense of dread? One of the ways that the body manifests, thank God I've never experienced it, but I know people who do, is in panic attacks. So people feel like they're having a heart attack or they can't breathe. And there are precursors to that. There's a energy that feels like I'm not okay. You don't feel safe. You don't feel centered. So check in. And here is an assignment I want to give you right now. If you haven't done it, no matter when you find this recording, I want you to make sure that you schedule all of your annual checkups. So if you haven't done it, make sure that you get your mammogram, that you get your pap smear. If you're at that age that you got to get your colonoscopy. For men, you get your prostate exam. Make sure, as a gift of love, an action of love to yourself, that you schedule all of your annual checkups. And look, if you're feeling anxious, unsure, unsteady, reach out and get some help. Schedule an appointment. There's things that you can do online. There's BetterHelp. There's, you can find a therapist in the area that you live in, a support group, whatever that is. Do not be afraid or ashamed of asking for help. Because how do you know when it's time to let go? When you feel like, I cannot take another thing. I cannot figure out another thing. I cannot carry this weight alone. And here's the thing, you do not have to. So get the help that you need. Schedule those checkups and do all of the things, because the body keeps the score. The next thing that you need to do is get clear on your why. Why do you think you need to do something different? Why are you feeling frustrated or unfulfilled? One of the things that I love, one of my favorite quotes is by Seth Godin, and he says, do work that matters for people who care. So if you're in a situation that you feel like you are just pouring out, whether it's you're pouring out in a job, you're pouring out in a relationship, you're pouring out to an organization, you're pouring out to your family, but it's draining you. It's not lighting you up. It's not exciting you. It's sucking the life out of you. Then you need to figure out what you need to do next. Get clear on what your why is. So the first thing is, why am I feeling so frustrated? Like, why do I feel tired all the time? Why do I feel angry all the time? Why do I feel like, I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop? And like I shared, I left a 30-year marriage because my biggest reason was, after 30 years, there was still nothing in place for my adult son with special needs. No matter how much I would cajole, ask, argue, whatever, I could not get his father to get on board with like making plans. And part of the reason was because we were always, I was always putting out fires that I hadn't started. And I knew that I could not spend another 30 years doing that. I could not spend another 30 years wishing and hoping, or like worrying like, oh my God, if something goes wrong, or if something happens to me, to us, what's going to happen to him? So I couldn't do that. I couldn't spend not even another, let alone 30 years. I could not spend another moment trying to figure out like what needs to be done, or can we get it done? So I got clear on my why. My why was, if you don't stop throwing good money after bad, if you don't stop throwing, your energy and your time putting out fires, you will look up and more time will have passed. Your son is already, in his late 20s and there's nothing in place. So that was my compelling why. I mean, I love what I do. I love serving people. I love seeing them transform their lives. And so I have the best of two worlds. I get to do what I love, and I can use what I make doing what I love to fund a special needs trust for my son so that all will be well. No matter what happens to me, all will be well. And I could not leave that in a situation that I knew that I did not have buy-in, I did not have support. So what is your why? What is your why? Ask yourself, not only why do I want more, or why am I trying to figure out if it's time to let go? Like, what's my why? What's going to light me up? What do I feel like I haven't done yet, or that I'm leaving on the table, or that I'm sacrificing? What am I doing that's not honoring who I am and how I'm meant to show up in the world? Like when you get clear on your why, then you can figure out the how. You can figure out the next right step. You can figure out who you need to work with to help you to get from where you are to where you want to be. So my 12-step transformation journey workbook is a great place to start. You can start answering those questions, going through the steps. So it's not just affirmations and journaling. It is real, clear, actionable plans, steps, strategies, so that you know what comes next, so that you have answers to those questions. And then you can say, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I need to do. Now I can find the right person to support me in that process. I can make this happen now. So if that is where you are, like the frustration and the discomfort that you're feeling is your body signaling to you that it's time to do something different. So don't wait until discomfort escalates into something more. So if you're in that space of, okay, what does next look like? I'm getting clear on my why. When I get clear on my why, I can get clear on the how. I can get clear on the who, because I'm clear on the why. So, again, don't wait till discomfort escalates. Reclaim your power and your peace. Create the blueprint that not only tells you what you need to do, but shows you how to do it. So comment workbook below, and I will make sure that you get access to it so that you can get started right now. You can get started right away and figure out what that next right step is for you. So we figured out, we know that the body keeps the score. So we got to take care of our body. We know now that we have to get clear on our why. And here is one that is just an absolute game changer. You have to tighten your circle. So one of the reasons that we often don't achieve what we want to achieve is because we're surrounded by people who don't get it, who don't get us, or who maybe even don't want to see us win. And I saw just the most amazing meme and post the other day, and it said, and I love this, you wouldn't have to move in silence if you were surrounded by people who want to see you win. Wow, right? You wouldn't have to move in silence if you were surrounded by people who want to see you win. And you know how that is. There's things that you keep close because you don't know if people are going to be cheering for you, or you don't know if people are going to mock your ideas or whatever. So now this does not mean that is a strategy, because the African proverb says, if you want to go how is it? If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a community, go with a team. So us, staying connected to this all the time, always in our head and in the computer, but we don't have community. That's not healthy. You just don't have the right circle right now. So again, when you get the workbook, you do the work in the workbook, you get clear, then you're like, oh, okay, I need to find my tribe. I need to find like-minded people. I need to find people who are already where I want to be, a little further along on the journey, or people who are, that I can go on the journey together. And so there's kind of like that 3-tier approach. You've got the people that you aspire to. You've got the people who are close enough to help, reach back and pull you along. And then you got the people that you link arms with and say, hey, let's go do this. So you get to move forward with the right tribe, the right community, that those teammates that you can link arms with. And I'll tell you, it makes all the difference in the world, because here's the thing. As a coach, one, I always make sure that I have a coach. So I'm always like, that's my person who's further down the line. Like, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to pay somebody to save me the time and the money so that I don't have to figure it out. Like, they've done it. They can say, okay, do this, this, and this. That's what I do for my clients. That's how I help them move forward. So that's one part of the puzzle. So for me, I've got a coach. And then I have a community. And like, I have my inner circle, like those people that I can go to and say, girl, like, this is 50 Shades of Crazy, or, oh my gosh, this is happening for me. Be they friends or mentors that I can say, hey, I'm not really clear about that. And then we cheer each other on, like that saying, iron sharpens iron. So you got to have, 2, 3, no more than 5 of those people that you're locked into and you're in lockstep with, because they'll support you. So that is what you figure out, like, what does my tribe look like? Because again, if you share your dream with people who don't get it, it can be really messy. Because I remember when I was younger, like, all I wanted to do was be on the stage and perform and whatever. And like, my own father didn't believe in my dreams. Like, he was like, I don't get it, And then he was even like, but honey, you're smart. You could have a real job. And like, I was like, this is my calling. This is my passion. And so what I know is that in some ways he was afraid for me. And then there were other people, because of where I was from, was like, girl, don't nobody do that. And so, they were afraid of me because my dreams were so big. And here's the thing that you have to figure out. When, again, you got people who are around you who are afraid, they're either afraid that you're going to fail and get hurt, or they're afraid that you're going to win and make them feel inadequate. So you got to figure out, because there's 2 kinds of fear. There's the fear that keeps you safe, and then there's the fear that keeps you stuck. So there's some wisdom in, like, getting support, getting coaching, having mentors, having a team, like all of that, that's wisdom, and yet fear, like that fear that keeps you stuck, the people who don't want to see you win, like that's a whole nother situation. And you don't need that energy. You don't need that level of distraction. You need to make sure that you have a community. And that doesn't mean that some of the people that you're in relationship, you just have to cut them off. What you have to do is cut them out of that part of your life. You don't share that part with them. So you can still, have tea, you can still kiki, you can still talk about whatever it is that you talk about. And here's the thing too, like a lot of people who work with me, they're high performing women who are leaving corporate, they're leaving high performing jobs or high profile situations. And the people that are around them have no intention of leaving. So, of course, they may take it as, oh, if you're leaving, that's judging who I am. When it really isn't, it's just you moving to where you are. Because, like, you don't have to leave something and that makes other people wrong. It just means that it's no longer right for you. And the season that it was right for you, honor it, celebrate it, and then move on. And again, that's why you can't share that with everybody, because a lot of people don't receive it that way. Because most people are in that what's in it for me space. And so you don't want that energy coming at you. You don't want them to try to discourage you or mock you or hold you back. And even if it is fear from love, like, oh no, that's too dangerous, or you're going to get disappointed, or you're going to fail. And okay, I have said from the time I was young, I've told my kids this, I tell my clients this, I've told myself this: failure is just information. That's really what it comes down to. It is just information. And so that's again why you work with a coach, because your coach has some failures. A good coach has failures. Any coach that tells you that they did it all right, run, Forrest, run. If they tell you they got it all right and they didn't have any failures and they didn't have any setbacks, baby, they're not the one. Like, do not trust that story, because it's not the truth. And so again, this is what you want. They can say, look, I can tell you 5 things that don't work. Like, I can tell you that out of the gate. Don't try it. Don't do it. Like, let me save you time, money, and aggravation. So that is why you get people who work with you, who you can work with, who can lead you, who can support you, and just move that in that direction. So when you are in that space, or even better yet, if you are right now in that space of how I'm feeling like there's something else for me right now, and I'm almost daresome to say, I feel like there's more. And so again, remember, I work with like high performing people who have been really successful, and they almost feel guilty for wanting more. And yet we're always becoming. We're always in the process of unfolding and becoming the best and highest version of who we're meant to be. So that means more. We can do more. We can have more. We can have a greater impact. So do not be ashamed of wanting more. That's a beautiful thing, because the more you accomplish, the more you do, the more you fine tune your message, your gift, your talent, the more impact you're going to have in the world, the more difference that you're going to make. And what I can say all the time, especially right now, people need your gift, your vision, your passion now more than ever. So if you feel that stirring up in you, if you feel that calling, think about everything that I've shared with you. Tune in. The body keeps the score. Listen to your body. Listen to your energy. Listen to how you're feeling. And then if you say, okay, I want more, get clear on your why, not justifying it. Like, well, why do you want more? It's not that. It's like, I really know I can make a difference here. Like, that's why I started my coaching. That's why I started sharing online, because somebody encouraged me and I was able to transform my life. I was able to leave something that was literally killing me. Like, my body was breaking down. And I found what I needed to do, and I was able to transform my life. So why would I not share that with people? Why would I not say, you get to have more? You get to say no. You get to say, it's time to go. I'm done. And the sooner you can figure it out, a lot of times the easier that transition is going to be. So get clear on your why. What is that thing that's going to light you up? What is that thing that that's like, oh my gosh, I would be so good at this, or I would so enjoy doing this. And it doesn't always, it doesn't always have to be serving. I find that if we're living in our purpose, we tend to move in a space of serving. And yet it's the other thing of sharing. Like you may want to travel the world, and that's okay. Like start putting things in place, putting your ducks in a row in place so that you can go and see the world. Because guess what? You are taking wonderful you into the world. You're sharing your culture and your joy and your experience. And then you can share your stories with people. I have friends who travel all the time, and I love like when they post and they share, and we'll get back together and share pictures and over a meal, like the experience. So live your best life. When you live from a place of joy and abundance, you also cultivate gratitude and generosity. So there is nothing wrong with wanting more. And then tighten that circle. Tighten that circle that is with people who celebrate you, who support you, who challenge you, and you do the same for them. So it's that energy exchange. So you're not being drained. Now you are exchanging energy. You're doing things in a way that makes a difference. It makes a difference to you, to the people that you love, to the people that you interact with, to the people that you serve. So don't keep putting off what you are meant to do. For those of you who've been following me throughout this year, you know that my mother made her transition this year after 90 years, and she lived a good and a full life. And yet that's the thing. We still thought we'd have more time. We didn't know that like her 90th birthday would be it. And we're actually coming up on her birthday right now. And so this time last year, she was here and now she's gone. And so I'm grateful that I got to spend the end of her life caring and sharing with her while she was on hospice in my home. And yet, what I'm really grateful for is the peace that she had when she made her transition. So do not put anything off. Do not take anything for granted. Don't say, well, I'll wait till when blah, 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 whatever that when is. No, now is the time. And so I actually have a special offer that I'm doing for the end of the year right now. It's called the Awaken Your Dreams digital course. It is an online course with video and worksheet, and it helps you like all the things that you're going to start in the workbook. It's a deeper dive. You really get to map out what next looks like. You will come through this course with a blueprint, a detailed blueprint that is unique to you, because the course, I set up the course with my frameworks, and yet you get to apply those frameworks to your situation. And there's an extra special bonus because I'm feeling generous at the end of the year and I'm feeling grateful for another year. I am going to, for the people who enroll in the course, you get a special workshop, Zoom workshop with me, answering your questions, helping you map out things, helping you put language around everything that you want to do. So it's the Awaken Your Dream digital course. I'll leave a link in the description. You can always DM me and ask for it too. So now is your time. Now is the time. So if it's time to let go, if it's time to move on, if it's time to move into your next, don't put it off. Don't sacrifice your vision, your passion, your calling. Now is the time. Awaken your dreams and move in the direction of your dreams. So I hope this video served you. If it did, like I said, connect with me and let's move forward. Let's make it happen. Let's make your dream, your next, a reality. Let's name your next and then create the roadmap to make it happen. So I remind you, as always, continue to think big and dream even bigger. Don't put it off. Don't wait. I cannot wait to serve you and celebrate you. I'll see you soon. Be well. Peace.